It's great to be here in Perth. I'm joined by Minister Jenny Macklin, and I'd like to say a very big thank you to everyone here at Jelly Beans. You can see jelly beans all around us on the doors and paintings at this great centre. We've had the opportunity whilst we've been here this morning to talk to some families and to meet some wonderful children. This is a centre that is working to make a difference for children with autism, and I'm very pleased that under our Better Start package, our early intervention for children with autism, we've been able to support this centre and we've been able to support families around the country to get some help to make a difference for their child's life. And amongst the things that I've heard said this morning, and I do want to say this in front of people who work so hard in this centre, is that they can see the improvement for their child from coming here and being involved in these programs. And really you couldn't get a better compliment than that what is happening here is really working to make a difference for that child. So congratulations to you. That package, working with children with autism, joining with our other early intervention packages, joining with the 200 million we're investing in schools for students with disabilities, is all making a difference. But I'm here today with Jenny Macklin to talk about the next stage, and that's a National Disability Insurance Scheme. Each of us, I think, has had some insight into the lives of families who have a person that they care for with a disability. Through the Adopt a Polly program that operates here, some of our Western Australian politicians have had a very direct insight. But we know that looking around the country for families who care for someone with a disability, that at the moment it can be a pretty cruel lottery as to whether or not you get the help you need. Whether or not you get the help you need can depend on the circumstances in which a person got their disability, whether they got it at work or whether they were born with it. We want to make a difference to that through a National Disability Insurance Scheme, a great Labor reform as big as something like Labor's Medicare, something that would make a difference for all time about how we assisted people with a disability. Like Medicare was a big thing to build, a National Disability Insurance Scheme is a big thing to build, and it's going to take some time. We've made that clear. But we do want to get on with the job, which is why we are determined to build the first stage by the middle of next year, 12 months earlier than the landmark Productivity Commission report recommended, because we want to get on with this big job of building a National Disability Insurance Scheme and making a difference for families around the country. As a Labor government, we always want to run the economy in the interests of working people, and we always want to be working with families to get them the help and supports they need. So whether it's the National Disability Insurance Scheme, whether it's our paid parental leave scheme, our record investments in childcare, our health reforms and new money into hospitals, our key investments into reforming schools, we are working to support families and the services they need. So I am very concerned to see overnight that Mr Hockey, on behalf of Mr Abbott and the Liberal team, has given a speech which threatens all of that. Overnight, he has been talking internationally about their plans for Australia and their plans for Australian families, and it makes pretty grim reading. What Mr Hockey has said overnight is that the Liberal Party is committed to widespread cutbacks to the supports and services that Australian families have today, supports and services that Australian families rely on. Our message to Australian families is we want the economy to work for you, and we want to be working with you to get the services that you need. Unfortunately, Mr Hockey and Mr Abbott's message to those families is you're in for cutbacks, and if you can't cope, well, just try fending for yourself, and if you can't fend for yourself, well, unfortunately, that's too bad. The Liberal Party has said overnight through Mr Hockey that they are prepared to abandon Australian families and take away the very vital services they need.